Between Disney's Animal Kingdom and Disney's Animal Kingdom Lodge, there are about 1,500 animals, and caring for animals starts pretty early in the morning. We do start our day at 5 o'clock in the morning. We prepare individually over 1,000 containers of food each day. The food items that we receive are coming from the warehouses, and it's those exact same warehouses that supply the resorts and the Disney restaurants with their food. So it's the same high quality food. We don't use seconds or things that are going to be tossed out. If a food item is not of the highest quality, then we do have a compost program, and so we believe in recycling, and that compost actually is picked up by our horticulture department, turned into fertilizer, which then is used out in the fields. The animals really range in the diet items they're eating and the quantities they're eating, but of course the elephants would be the ones who eat the most. They're eating about 300 pounds of food a day, but each animal actually has a diet that is weighed out to the gram specifically for that animal, whether it's a little tiny spiny mouse or whether it's a great huge elephant. All of that is measured out for them, so we're making sure that they're getting the proper amounts. And then the keepers are responsible for measuring the food intake. We don't want to waste food, but we also want to make sure that the animals are getting exactly what they need. So our nutritionist is able to do a lot of research to see what would they normally eat in the wild, and is also able to take into consideration not just the species needs, but what are the individual needs. What age is the animal? Where are they in their growth phase? What kind of a status do they have from a reproductive standpoint, if they're breeding or if they have offspring at that point in time. So we have to take all of those into consideration when creating the diets for the animals. Some of the food items in the animals' diets are there for enrichment, and we found some unique ways in order to enrich the items. For example, we found that the otters like what we refer to as otter pops, and we might take a small frozen fish and then further freeze that into a block of ice. And so that way the otters have something fun to play with in order to get the ice broken apart in order to get the fish treat that's inside. We do have a unique task in creating the animal diets. We follow a lot of the guidelines that work out best for the keepers and how to prepare the foods. For example, giraffes like their carrots cut up into long sticks, whereas maybe the porcupine likes the carrots in bigger chunks. So we're following a lot of those instructions. But we also do work with the manufacturers on some of the pelleted feeds that we have, and we've helped to create those recipes. And then we have some unique foods that we create specifically for the animals, such as gels. We can mix in different supplements or even medications that the animals might need, and then if one day it happens to have vitamin E in it, the animal doesn't know the difference. Whereas sometimes trying to get an animal to take a vitamin E pill, it can be quite difficult. A variety of the animals are getting the gel foods. The primates will eat them. A lot of the herbivores, the hoofstock, kudu, giraffe, and animals like that. And as a matter of fact, we make a special aquatic gel for the living seas with Nemo and friends. There are 2,000 fish over there that need food items as well, and we provide over 100 pounds of food in fish gel form for those animals each day. In order to keep such a large operation organized, the stations where we prepare the foods are set up by animal-specific groups. And we have a station that would prepare bird diets, a station that prepares primate diets, and then a different station that prepares small mammal and reptile diets. So the organization really helps us to keep things running smoothly. We do have almost 100 acres of browse, so those are trees that are grown specifically to be food for the animals. So we don't use toxic pesticides or fertilizers. We make sure that we're using integrated pest management. So that's basically using your good bugs to eat your bad bugs so that the plants stay healthy. And those plants are then food items for the animals. So for something like a giraffe that's normally eating branches of trees in the wild, that's an important part of their diet nutritionally. But it also serves a behavioral purpose. Animals that are used to eating plants in the wild, when they're receiving those plants in captivity, they're acting more as if they would in the wild. For example, we have a Garanut gazelle with a very long neck, and that animal will actually stand up on its hind legs and stretch its neck in order to get those leaves, and we provide that opportunity for them. Certainly, being here at Walt Disney World Resort, there's a difference to many of the things that we do. Environmentality is also a huge focus that we have in making sure that we are conscious of the impact that we're having on the earth. Something as simple as consolidating our orders so that trucks are delivering to our facility less often. And we're very fortunate to have solar panels that are heating the water that goes into our water heater, and that water heater is filling our dishwasher to wash all of the dishes that we have each day. Even being conscious to turn off the lights when we go to lunch. And the compost program that we have is something that people could even do in their own homes each day, and saving food scraps and then using that in their yards as fertilizer. At Disney's Animal Kingdom, one of our missions is to provide excellence in animal care. Just as nutrition is important to people, it's very important to animals. And as guardians of the animals that we have here, we're providing the best nutrition so that those animals have the highest quality of life.